Friends, it's Brad Reynolds with Synergy, and as you know, I've never been shy when it comes to promoting and letting you know that whether you're thinking about real estate, you're thinking about me. Or if you're thinking about Nashville or Middle Tennessee, you're thinking about me. So with that, we're talking about today's subject, which is builders versus developers. For many people not in the real estate space, you would think it's the same thing, but actually it's two different people, groups, or companies with two different roles, two different groups of responsibilities, and two different things that you should know. I'm also going to give you a couple of local examples and tell you the differences right now. First, let's talk about developers. A developer is primarily responsible for identifying and acquiring land, planning and financing real estate like mixed use, apartments, industrial, commercial, etc., securing permits and zoning permits, overseeing the design, hiring architects, engineers, and planners, coordinating with city officials, investors, and stakeholders, and lastly, often hiring builders and contractors to actually build the buildings. Think of the developer as the person who works to figure out how the land is going to be used. They're going to put together a plan, they're going to find the investors, they're going to get the loan, they're going to figure out what is zoned and what they can zone and do they need to change all these things, and then they'll go out and they'll hire the builder to actually build what they've gotten approved. So when you think of some of the developers here in town, the big folks who are doing big projects, some of my favorites locally include Meg Epstein with CA South, Tony Giarratana with Giarratana Development, Southwest Value Partners, who's the lead developer on the Nashville Yards project, and Highwoods Properties, who does stuff all over the Southeast, particularly in Nashville. Next, we're gonna look at the builder or the general contractor. Now keep in mind, this is the group that manages the day-to-day activities. They're the folks that actually go out and build the buildings. They hire the subs, they hire the framers and the carpenters and the plumbers and the electricians, and they bring the developer's vision to life. These folks are gonna make sure the project is built on time, to code, and on budget. Now, when I think of some local developers here in town, Thomas Brett with Brett Design/Build, Alan Fagan with Magnolia Trace Properties, and Ford Custom Homes are just some of the builders I think of and have worked with over the years. So quick example, let's say I am a developer here in Davidson County. You, my friend, watching this video are a builder. Now I go out and I find a piece of land, I put it under contract, but I find out, hey, it's only zoned for 25 single family homes. But I want to build 50. How do I do that? I get with my local council person. We get the property rezoned. We then go out and hire you, the builder, and say, here's our plans, here's our timeline, here's our cost, here's the fee we're willing to pay you, and we'd like to hire you. We work out a plan, we work together, we get those homes built, we hire real estate agents to sell those homes, and then we wrap up the project and hopefully do another one. All right, so one more example, especially for my sports folks, because probably most of you watching tend to love sports, you know that I do. Think of a developer as a general manager. Think of the builder as a coach. The developer is going to go out and put a plan together, AKA the general manager. Here's who we want. Here's who we're going to draft. Here's how we're going to put our team together. The builder then looks at the plans and says, based on this team we've assembled of the players you've drafted to the returning players, here's how we're going to put our defense together. Here's what plays we're going to run. Here's who's going to start. All these things, we're working together. The head coach tends to get way more publicity than the general manager does, but at the end of the day, the general manager is just as important, if not more important, in the team coming together than the coach. But guess what, Brad? Can they be the same person? Can both a builder also be a developer? Yes. For many of those small builders I named earlier, many times they are. They don't have the people to go out and break it out. So what do? They put the land under contract. They secure the financing. They put the sales team together. They put the numbers together. They do it all. Typically, that's smaller firms without scale where they're doing that. So as we wrap up, drop in the comments, who is your favorite builder? Who is your favorite developer? Me personally, here in Nashville, and I've only met him twice, Tony Giarratana. That man has single-handedly reshaped the skyline of Nashville with all the different buildings he's done. 301 Demumbrian Street, the Encore, 415 Church Street, the Viridian, 1010 Church Street, just all these different buildings and sites. The city would look radically different without him. I met Tony years ago standing in front of his 505 building. I said, Tony, we've only met once before. You would not remember me. But if I won the lottery, I would call you and we'd build some of these new amazing skyscrapers that you've been proposing. So if you want to help me with my goal of building a skyscraper, you better call me for all of your real estate needs. My contact info is below. As always, we've been here for 15 years doing this, 400 plus 5-star reviews, a rapidly growing YouTube channel, and all of it made by you. So thank you so much. Reach out for all of your real estate needs. We'll see you soon. Cheers.